Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. In this video, we're looking at question number 18 on our 2012 Pascal. The entire exterior of a solid 6 by 6 by 3 rectangular prism is painted. Okay? Then the prism is cut into 1 by 1 by 1 cubes. How many of these cubes have no painted faces? Okay, very nice little question. So we can visualize. It's a 6 by 6 by 3, so it's going to have a nice square face. 6, 6, 3. And we can even try and cut across and visualize it. I used to be so much better at drawing these. No, that's not gonna. Oop, that's not gonna cut it. That's gonna be way too much. Need to do 5. There we go. You don't actually have to do something like this. I just think it's a good idea to be able to visualize our 6 by 6 by 3. And then what are we told? Well, it's cut into 1 by 1. So now we have, with our picture, we visualized where those cuts are going to take place. Okay. Now, how many of these cubes have no painted faces? So there's a couple ways we could go about doing this. We could count, we could pretend that we have the faces painted. And we could count how many cubes on the edges and on the sides and things like that. But that's going to be a bit of a mess. We're going to have to do sort of inclusion, exclusion, that sort of a thing. Okay? So another way to do that is to say, all right, suppose I didn't want to include any of the painted faces. Well, what are those painted faces going to be? Well, they're going to be anything on this side. So let's cut that side away. Okay, we'll just chop off all these blocks. Going to be anything on this side, so let's cut that off. Okay. And so you can see the cuts that we're going to make sort of limit us, and we would even cut off sort of the top, because the top would be colored. And we'd cut the bottom off as well. And so what we'll be left with is you're just going to chop off the top and the bottom and the sides. Okay? And so you'll be left with a 1 by 4 by 4. And when you peel off those layers. Right? And when you realize that, oh, suddenly this becomes very easy to count. It's a 1 by 4 by 4. How many 1 by 1 blocks are there going to be? 1 times 4 times 4, 16. That's it. Okay? So rather than having to mess with, all right, this face has 36 blocks that need to be chopped off, and this face has 18, except, some of these are going to be in the same. We don't have to do that sort of a work. Okay? So we can just get 16 there. And that's going to be, A. So there we go. Answer is going to be A here. All right. So a nice little trick. There are sort of these painting questions. Not always, how many aren't painted, but sometimes they ask, how many squares in total are painted, or what's the shaded area and things like that. Okay. I find, they come up every once in a while. This one was sort of a nice one. Okay. And actually, I just thought I'd show you while I've got it here. I'm quite proud. I have a 6 by 6 by 3 Rubik's Cube puzzle. So I was a little delighted when I saw 6 by 6 by 3 pop up. It doesn't particularly help, but sort of, because let's be honest, the color picture wasn't the greatest thing. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out how many blocks are in my puzzle that don't have stickers on them. So what we're doing is we're taking off this top layer. We're taking off this bottom layer. What's going to be left? This middle layer. Okay? Take out the top. That's all the blocks that have these colors. But on the middle layer, you can see, okay, well, I've still got some colors, so I've got to take off the edges as well. And so then I'm going to be left with the 4x4 by 1 block there. Okay? Not many people have a 3x6x6. I had to get this special made. But we could always talk about Rubik's Cubes another time. Well, it's not even really a Rubik's Cube anymore, Rubik's Cuboid. But I think we're a little more interested in seeing more of our Pascal paper, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So long for now, and I'll see you for more math next time.